Today I'm going to be cleaning and polishing the ceramic glass in my low pipe freedom fireplace insert. As you can see, it's fairly hazy. This is the way it looks after it has been washed with water. So we're going to start by using hydrochloric acid to dissolve away the potassium and the calcium deposits that are on the back of the glass. That's going to help a lot. And then after that we'll use cerium oxide powder to polish the inside surface of the glass, and with any luck we'll get the glass looking perfectly clear, just the way it did when it was brand new. Here's the door to the insert, which I've removed, and I took this over to a sink and washed it off with water, and this is what's left. If I take a wet paper towel and wipe this, you can see that when that water evaporates, a considerable haze is still left behind. So now I've removed the ceramic glass from the frame and again washed it some more. This is as clean as it gets. This is the fire-facing side of the glass, and if I flip it over, of course, this is the room-facing side of the glass. As we work on this and get it cleaner, it's going to be harder and harder to identify which side is which, and if you lose track, it can at some point become difficult. If I slide this over, you can see that the haze does not reflect, and then if I flip it over to the room-facing side, you do get reflections. So as we start to clean this and the haze becomes very diminished, if you forget which side is which, you can use this technique, and also to help identify the parts of the glass that have any remaining haze left in them. So now I'm getting ready to apply the hydrochloric acid, which is called muriatic acid, which is about 10% hydrochloric acid. Here I'm using a plastic spatula just to push the hydrochloric acid solution around. Now we're going to add some baking soda to neutralize the hydrochloric acid. So I neutralized all of the hydrochloric acid with baking soda and got it all cleaned up, and I put the glass on top of a piece of black fleece to help it show up. Right away this looks quite a bit better than it did before, and you can see that we're left with this one hazy area right here. This is the fire facing side of the glass. Down here on the bottom we actually have a pretty clear spot. You can see the light fixture above the table, but this area up here along the top, this is still pretty hazy. So the interesting thing about this area is this is not a deposit. You can see how this corresponds to an area of the glass that really has a lot of direct contact with the hottest parts of the fire. Over time, the heat from the fire has etched and roughened this surface of the glass. So there's not dirt here that you can scrape off. This is just a rough surface of the glass. Here's the cerium oxide powder that I'm going to use to polish the glass. I purchased this off the internet, and it is fine enough that it will create an optically clear surface, unlike, say, 1000 grit aluminum oxide sandpaper, which would leave a hazy surface behind it. So if you had a really bad surface, you could conceivably want to use something faster cutting to get it smooth, but my experience was that it didn't end up saving me a lot of time. So I just go straight to the cerium oxide powder, and I'll put this on and use a power sander to polish this in. And this is going to take a good amount of time to do that. I'm going to use these 6-inch glass polishing pads with a smaller power sander. This one I've used before, and I'm just going to use the same old one again. You can see the residual cerium oxide in it. But this is going to turn over, and I'll just set that on the top and go to town. So I've been sanding now for about 10 minutes with the vibratory power sander, and what you can do is take a sharp chisel, and if we push this along the surface, we can clean a section of the glass and see how it's looking underneath. So what I can see is that it's getting better, but there's still some areas of haze there. So not unexpectedly, we'll probably need to sand for another 5 or 10 minutes. With 5 more minutes of polishing, it's looking better. And over on this right side of the glass, you can see the reflection of the light bulb above the table very well. And as we move over, right here, it starts to get a little fuzzy in the center. So with about 20 minutes of polishing now, you can see that the glass is looking very good. Here you see the final result. It's very shiny and clear. I did want to hold the glass up in front of the snow just to show that the glass does have a slight tint to it. And that's because ceramic glass is not regular glass. This, I believe, is Neoceram, which is the brand name. And it does have a tint, and that's just a function of what this glass is made of. So that tint will never go away, and it's not supposed to.